Hello and welcome everybody to Tuesday Night TerrorVision. Pete right here with you, joined by the one, the only J-Man right here.
How's it going?
Good. Welcome back, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, J-Man's just a regular. We've just given him the chair here on the opposite side of the screen for whatever he wants it, and for good reason, because he suggested that we watch another Dario Argento movie tonight, and it is, of course, Inferno from 1980. This came out the same year Tenebrae did, because Tenebrae was 80. It was 80 or 81, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, let me get the. Let me ask my friend Google and see what he says, or see what they say.
It's our Italian friend Google. It's a Google.
Google. Inferno and Tenebrae. Okay, so Inferno is before Tenebrae, but it's definitely after Suspiria because it's the continuation of the Three Mothers. Suspiria is the first of the Three Mothers. The last one is Mother of Tears.
Okay.
So we're starting you in the middle. But it literally doesn't. It doesn't matter. Trust me. If you'd watched Suspiria, you wouldn't be any more or less confused than you were watching Inferno. And I've seen Suspiria many times. I've seen Inferno a couple times, and I just rewatched it. I'm like, I still don't know what's going on, but I've never been so confused while visually entertained.
Yeah,
at the same time.
This is here. We'll go ahead. Let me do this. I upload it. I upload it. Oh, I gotta upload it while we're talking here. Let me see who's in the chat yet. There. All right. We got 4 watching though. All right. So hello everybody watching. I know we're on Twitch and we're on my channel. We're on J-Man's channel tonight. So thank you, however you're watching. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Yeah, this was a interesting movie. I don't want to get too much into it before we start, but yeah, we've watched The Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
Yep.
We've watched Tenebrae, and we've watched Inferno now.
And
Blood and Black Lace. Yep.
Yeah.
Was that Bava?
No, yeah, Blood is not Dario Argento.
That's Bava. That was Mario Bava.
Yeah, so there's Lamberto Bava, and there's there's Mario Bava, and there's Dario Argento, and there's Lucio Fulci. Those are your four like kind of staple people. We'll eventually do. We'll definitely have to do some Mario Bava ones as well. And Dario Argento produced. I loaned you Demons, which we can do if you want to do that one. The next time we do something, we can do Demons. It's not giallo, but it is awesome.
I do. I watched the trailer for that, and I'm like, okay, yep.
Oh shit, yeah.
this is neat. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fulci. I've never seen anything by Fulci, but one of my friends, Jared, that runs Shogun, he has talked a lot about Fulci. He asked me, says, "You're watching Argento?" I say, "You seen any Fulci?" And I'm like, "Not yet." I was like, "We're on Argento." We watched one Bava. I said, "But the name has come across the desk." So that is definitely in the list of things that we will be touching on here. But yeah, so we'll get right into it. Here's the title card for Inferno.
The repositories of all their filthy secrets. Those so-called mothers are actually wicked stepmothers, incapable of creating life, infamous.
And with the way it started, I was like, okay, this is gonna be steeped in this mythos and lore about these 3 mothers. And they go back and forth on it.
Yeah.
And they'll go back to it and then they go away from it. And it's something else. And the characters in this were it was difficult. I'm like, because I was kind of like, I'm trying to follow who everybody is. And I'm like, okay, so the girl at the beginning was that Rose? That was Mark, who is the foreigner.
Yeah, he's the brother.
Yeah, he's the brother. And he's a music student. And it's like, it's very like the beginning where she gets the book, and then she sees that like the opening to go like underneath the building, like into like the cellar area of the building,
into the Inferno sort of, or the proto Inferno, which will be an Inferno at the end.
Yep. And it's like she goes down and then she drops her keys. I'm like, I'm trying to understand this. I'm like, So there's just a random hole with like a whole nother floor that's filled with water.
It's all surreal.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's surreal. It's all surrealist imageries and stuff. Like the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes are crazy. Like all this crazy shit's going on. You got the drowning body. Like what it's like this underwater base or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Hey purist, how's it going? So yeah, you like the Terrifier in the back. That's funny. Should wear my. I have a deep red, so I was like, yeah, that's funny with the Scooby Doo. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, so this movie. Okay, so Suspiria is the big super mega famous one. It's a giallo adjacent. So we had the Blood and Black Lace, which is the proto giallo. All of the things were set up in there. Then you got Bird with the Crystal Plumage, which to me is my favorite. The best is Tenebrae, if you want to go by what is the best. But Bird is kind of my favorite because the story is so neat. I like the story and I like the investigation a bit better than Tenebrae. Tenebrae has super great gore. Full music is on. The full gore effects are on. The full crazy story, super twist, like twist and a twist. Right? Oh, it's this person. Oh, it's that person. Wait a minute. There's another person. Right? Like so. Everything is in play by the masters. Suspiria this is a surreal movie that's weird. Everybody in it, it's in a dance hall, it's in a dance academy, and all the doors are really big and it's all colors. There's no normalcy. Everything's like purple or blue or red or green. There's like green rooms, yellow rooms. This one is the same. This is the second mother. And it's just in an apartment. And these people happen to be in a spot where one of the mothers is operating. And in this one, it's that building, what you're saying. And there's all these clues to say that they operate in these 3 locations and they tell you the locations. And this one just happens to be here next to an antique dealer who happens to be selling a book about the mothers that someone living in the building that one of the mothers has taken over happens to buy, and then is inquisitive or dumb enough to go like read the things like, oh, underneath let me go underneath. It's like, okay, I'd be like moving out.
Right. That's what I said. I'm like, why are you staying there? Like,
I'm out of here.
Yeah. I mean, that fight or flight response has got to kick in at some point with a parrot head. And like I said, when she walks down the basement, there's this hole in the floor with all this fucking water in it, and she drops her keys down in it. She can't reach it, and she's like, okay, I'll jump in there. And then it's like she's underwater. She's right by her keys, and she starts looking around. I'm like, honey, focus. Like,
let's go.
Like, you're going to die. And then the body, I'm like, and then when she's trying to, the body just keeps coming towards her. I love that part.
I love it.
But like, you see the door down there open. Like, you see like this door open, and then the body appears, and then it's floating up towards her. Everything that like you said, the imagery down there was so, and then it's underwater, which makes it even more trippy.
Yeah.
And the whole setup for this, the building itself, like you mentioned the lighting and the color of the rooms, everything is like red and black. And then you have like these like other like kind of lower key colors, but everything is accentuated and lit in red in this. It casts, it's really eerie visuals.
For sure.
Which aids in everything in this, especially with the Inferno title. But I dug it. I dug the aesthetic of it. The tension was really good. Like, my wife's watching and she's like, this is kind of slow, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this is a very slow burn because
it is.
And I said that at the beginning. I'm like, well, because there's a lot to go, there's going to be a lot to like cover in this. And then I'm like, at the end of the movie, I'm like, boy, was I wrong.
Nothing was covered.
This was like Charlie Day's board with all the strings attached to different like conspiracy theories.
Oh, okay.
That was basically like how this was. It's like, here's this over here, and then we're gonna go over here, but we're gonna come back up here and we're gonna go down here.
Right.
And I didn't dislike it. I didn't. It's dizzying at times the way they cut to different, okay, over here, and then like you have this Okay, so what's his name? Kazazian?
Yeah, because made up a stand name. He's from Made Up a Stand or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
he's foreign. Weird foreign guy, weird German guy from Monster
Scary
Squad.
German guy?
Scary German guy, yeah.
Scary German guy.
Weird foreigner.
But yeah, so he's on the crutches and everything. And then you get the cats. The cats are everywhere in this. You can't escape these cats in this movie.
And he's got his solution.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. There's just at one point in the movie, he just opens a chest and there's a bag in there and he's got this cat. And I'm like, I'm watching him carry him like, that's a real fucking cat. Like,
it looks like when the cat was eating some of the rats too, that looked real too. Like this is Lucio Fulci had some actual court case for a movie, a Woman in a Lizard Skin, which when you eventually get to that one I'm really saving, because you're going to need to have a lot of these under your belt for that one, because that one is super weird. But there's a scene in it where you're like, that's pretty messed up, and you're like, and they actually thought it was real. He had to prove in court that it was fake, because
I heard about that.
Like, he smashed the cat.
Yeah, he fucking bounces his head off like the corner of a chair. I'm like, God damn, dude.
I was like,
mind you, I'm watching this, and my cat, Mr. Beans,
is no,
between my legs, and he's hearing all the cat fighting, and he's kind of like looking around. It was funny.
Like, what is this?
Because he was like half asleep. He stuck his head up. I'm like, look away, Mr. Beans. Look away. Yeah. He takes the cats to the fucking river. And I'm like, okay, this is supposed to be in New York. This dude can barely walk. And he's got a bag of cats just hanging. And he crosses the bridge and he goes down to the river. He puts it, he's like poking it with a crutch. I'm like, oh no. Then it's not deep enough. And I said to the wife, I said, bet you he falls. And then timber.
Yeah. It's all muddy.
Yeah.
Muddy, the rats everywhere. And then the rats start to eat them. And you're
the guy in the food truck, though. Like, there's a guy in the food truck who's like, he doesn't see or hear anything until the guy's laying there screaming. And he looks concerned, and he fucking runs all the way over. And then he just chops the guy in the back of the fucking neck with his butcher knife multiple times and drags him over and just leaves him for the rats, and then just walks away. And
then remember later where that was explained? No, it's just random. Like this, yeah. This is the thing about this movie. Okay. So Dario Argento, I watched some of the interviews for this. I've got the special edition Shout Factory, and they clearly say Dario Argento was very concerned with lighting, effects, whatever. Everybody, for those who don't know, if you're watching this later on repeat or whatever, there's Italian filmmaking of that time especially is everything's dubbed over afterwards. Everyone speaks their own language. So nobody knows what's going on. The girl who's Rose, the main girl who we think is going to be the main girl she's the main girl for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
She makes a lot of stupid decisions, as you said, going down to the thing, going into the water, not hurrying, but she doesn't die because of it. She dies much later on. She does make it through that, which is shocking too.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, she's going to get nailed. She gets through because you kept thinking, well, yeah, now her brother's going to come take over and be the main guy, but not for a long time.
No.
When she comes back, okay, she does all this stuff, and it's like, okay, so she eventually is going to get killed, but like that actress is on the Blu-ray saying, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even have the script. They're just telling me what to do, what to say, and where to walk. And she's like, well, what's my character's motivation? Why am I doing this? What is going on in the story? They're like, don't worry about it. Just follow our direction. It's not supposed to be, you're not supposed to, like, the way we watch it, like we're sitting here, I'm taking notes. Like I wrote Inferno and then I wrote my notes. We're not supposed to be doing this. It's supposed to be an experience where we're sitting here and we're in this weird dream. We know that there's these evil mothers, witches around. One of them is here. She's influencing things. We don't know who she's influencing. It still has the gloved killer, but then there's like the clawed fingered killer. And you're like, is that the witch? Is this person employed? Is this person a manifestation of the witch? Later, we find out that there's a couple of people, the butler and that woman scamming, the maid scamming that rich woman who you've seen now. She's Dario's wife. You've seen her in all his movies, right? Yep. She's in all the movies. Yep. It's always great to see her. It's like, oh, there she is. And her name's like Daria something. So it's pretty funny. But like, they're scamming and you're like, oh, they're all part. No, and then they die. You're like, oh, they're not part of this. Like,
yeah, that's when that plan came to fruition. And they're sitting there and they're like, now we'll take from these rich bastards and we'll live the good life. I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, so they're all part of the master plan. And no, nothing. They get killed. Like, dude gets he gets stabbed, I think. And then she gets the fucking like tapestry or curtain falls on her. It's just engulfed in flames. I was like, ooh.
And the one guy got the eyes ripped out.
His eyes were ripped out.
Yeah, eyes ripped out, and then the girl gets the window like.
Oh, yeah,
that was awesome though when he grabs out of the darkness. That was good.
Pulls her backwards, and there's like nails, and he like jams her like head on a nail, and then he's just taking the window and slamming it into her throat like a guillotine. Yeah. It was, and as somebody who is a fan of decapitations, I was like, the first shot, like you see the splatter, I'm like. It didn't go all the way through.
No,
and then
they
go back, and then you just see it like cutting into her neck. I'm like, oh shit! Like, that was brutal. The girl that was in class with Mark, Alice, the blonde.
Yeah,
I'm
she's cute.
She was. I'm like, okay, so she's gonna be one of the. And then, nope, she gets off like pretty quick, like knife to the back. She meets that guy, and she's like. Marco, I think his name was.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to help her out.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, oh, let me go over to the fuse box. Yeah. Turns around. He's got a knife jammed through his neck. And he was just talking like 1 second before. He's like, I think I fixed it. And then he stumbles out. And she's screaming. And like, he's like trying to like he wants her to help him. He's like trying to grab onto her and she can't get out. It's just blood all over. And then she's like, she gets up, turns back, and then whack right to the spine. Like the knife is like just buried in her. I'm like, as tiny as she was, because that was a big knife. I was like, that had to be sticking out the front. Like that had to like go completely through her. But yeah, that was another one. The other two characters right there. You're like, they're gonna be, and they're gone. Like,
I love happened. Yeah, try right in the back of the DVD box for the like. You know, when my day was the back of the VHS, it's like because what do you do with these movies, right? What happens is that you pick it up, Inferno, that was, and then you read this, right? And what are you going? Who's going to write this? You're going to say, there's lots of gore and there's lots of great lighting. I don't like so this offshoot of the Giallo picture. So this idea of the mystery, we said all the things, the foreign guy investigating. Mm-hmm. All those other ones we've watched up until now have actually really been slasher movies mixed with an Agatha Christie style murder mystery where we don't know the killer, right? So in Columbo, we know who the killer is. We watch him solve it, right? So it's more like, like any of the Sherlock Holmes, any of those kinds of guys where we don't know, but it's an amateur. Agatha Christie she didn't just write Poirot and Miss Marple. She wrote a lot of just like regular people involved in mysteries. So that's what it is. Regular people involved in mysteries. And it's disguising the fact that it's a slasher movie with your gore and nudity and cool soundtrack and all of that. So that's very firm and easily to understand. Hollywood likes, it's a mix of this and this. They like that in their heads. Once Dario starts going into this, let's make it a dream. Suspiria is the first. Suspiria is the most known one. That one has more gore. The soundtrack is killer. The ending of Inferno, din, 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 all of a sudden the music pops in. That's throughout most of Suspiria, and the gore is like way high, and the color's out of control. This one's actually after, but he tried to tone this one down, if you can believe that. This is the toned down version.
Damn.
And it's just a dream. And just like Suspiria has an abrupt ending, so does this. All of a sudden, the witch appears. You're like, holy shit. And then she's like a Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
He just runs off, and it's like, that's it. It's over. And you're like, what in the hell? And it's just like a dream. You woke up, oh, God, there's fire. And then you're like, oh, what was it about? And the way I listened to you talk when you're just now talking, I was listening to you, and I'm like, that's the way you would explain a dream to your wife. You wake up, oh, honey, I had a really weird dream. Oh, what happened? What happened, Pete? What was it? Wow, there was this guy, and then I was like, there's like a witch or something, and I was in this weird house, and then I couldn't get the lights on, so someone came to help me, but then they were dead. Like, you're literally, it literally is a dream. Yeah. There's the loosest of stories to even call it a story. Like, I'll give a rating at the end, to be fair, because we always give our rating, but my system fails a little bit on movies like this. Like, characters aren't anything. Like,
no, they're archetypes. Barely.
Like, he's a music student. How does that help him?
Right.
It doesn't mean anything. He could have been an architect. It could have been a chess player. Like, what? It doesn't matter what he is, right?
Yeah.
Like, he thought maybe the music will come into play or something, and he'll know something. No.
What I was like, okay, so they have this book, The Three Mothers, which is like Latin or whatever. It's old. Right. It's old world stuff. He's studying classical music. I'm like, I was kind of in my head. I'm like, okay, so there's some ancient mystery. This is gonna like piece together, and that's gonna, help them maybe defeat the witch. That's kind of at the beginning where I was. And to say at the end that I was completely at a 180 from where there was no way I could have foreseen the chain of events unfolding in the manner which they did at the start of that movie, not knowing really much of anything going in. Yeah. They had the Grim Reaper thing with the witch really threw me at the end. I was like, so she was just a woman, what? Like,
yeah. Like,
she wearing a silver shamrock mask? What's going on here?
Silver
shamrock.
Yeah.
My kid just brought a bunch of stuff home from school the other day, and he's like, I had a couple of my winter hats, and one of them was a silver shamrock hat.
Oh, nice. That is awesome. 3 more days on Halloween. I wish my only problem with that movie is they don't sing that song enough.
Right? It's definitely does not get enough time to be an earworm stuck. When you're dead and either cremated or buried, you're just gonna be here.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna hear. I know.
That's gonna be it.
Here's the thing with this movie is it throws in all the conventions of horror movies. There's the guy who's the knowledgeable guy. Mm-hmm. There's like your guy who's like, okay, I'm going to figure this out, and so it has a cool setting. It has weird things going on. It's got some good kills. It sets up everything, but then it pays them off. But they don't feel like they're paid off. It's like, well, that smart guy. It's like, well, he's just going to know about the Three Mothers. No, he doesn't care. He's like, I don't know. You read it in a book, so you read it. I don't care. And it's like, you're like, oh, I thought you were going to be the guy in this movie that explains everything. It's like, no, I'm not explaining anything. I don't know what it is. You bought a book for what? Now, realistically, if you went to Barnes and Noble or whatever, and you bought a book, that the person there's not going to know. Oh, you bought a book on Shakespeare. Well, let me tell you about Shakespeare. Like, I don't know anything about it. You bought a book and have fun with it.
Yeah.
And why were all the copies? See, it's like little things are happening. They're dropping these hints. Like they're stealing some hand.
Yep.
Is taking all of the copies of the Three Mothers books so that people don't get a handle on them. And then you meet the guy who wrote the book, and you're thinking, oh, this is an interesting angle.
Yep.
He appears, and you're like, this will be really. And then the guy, you're like, he meets him. It's like, I am Vervalli. I am the. You're like, oh, and then it's like, wait, he's working for the Three Mothers now, or is he working for them? Possessed by them? Is he even there? Like, and then he starts to choke on his own thing, and you're like,
because he fell over. He stabbed. He tried to inject Mark with whatever
it was, yeah,
and. Then Mark kind of like knocks him over, and he's choking by his cord. It's funny. He's like, and he's gagging, and Mark's sitting there, and he's like, I'll suck the poison out. So
yeah,
he sucks the poison out, and then he goes over and he saves the dude. Yeah, this guy's like, he built the buildings for the Three Mothers. He was he didn't build them, but he was the architect. Yeah,
he's the architect
for all three buildings. And he said like he was just he's not the master. He's just a slave for them. And because they showed him earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like he just was getting wheeled around. And the fucking the dialogue from his like nurse was funny. It's like, oh, my sister's into poetry. She's like, oh, that's better for a woman, suited for a woman or something like that. It was
That's
so
the mother.
yeah. It
That's
was
Tenebrum or whatever.
Yep. It was
Suspirium, Tenebrium or something. And
Tenebrum, Suspirium.
And Mother, I think the other one just says Tears. It's all Mater, Suspirium, Mater, Terror, whatever. It's with Tenebrum. But it doesn't, like, you didn't learn anything. They're just like, well, she's the cruelest one. It's like, okay. And she's acting weird too. It's like, did she even die at the end? She's just kind of there posing like, yeah. And you're like, so there's water in the beginning, there's fire at the end. And obviously, I mean, this all means something. It's everything is dream logic. It's like, pretend Nightmare on Elm Street, invert the dreams and reality sequences. So where most of it is in the dream and only some of it's in reality, but even the parts in reality, like outside of the building, like when the guy goes to drown the cats, you're like, this is so weird. Now his thing is that, again, you have to assume, okay, witches, I guess they like cats. That's why there's cats around. So he tried to kill the cats. So then he died for it. They controlled that hot dog vendor to go run over and kill the guy. They controlled the rats, right? They're in control of all of these things. But you're just assuming all of this. It's not really said. And this whole movie, it is waking from a nightmare. And now you have to piece together in your mind just for your own satisfaction. Because like the human brain, your brain won't allow you to not get an explanation out of it. That's the thing with these movies. Yeah. That's the thing with any of these. 2001: A Space Odyssey, Eyes Wide Shut, and Kubrick's movies. Your brain is like, no, I've missed something. It's like, you haven't really missed anything. It's not there. You have to fill in all the gaps. So the story's as good as you make it up to be in your head. Mm-hmm. So you might be thinking, wow, that was awesome. Like, and this happened. It's like, huh? Did that happen? It's like, well, that's the way I thought it happened. That's why you get polarizing views on this.
Yeah.
The guy who's watching, The Acolyte on Disney Plus is like, oh, this is boring. Oh, no. Yeah, it is slow because it moves slow, but that's why I gave you those visual treats. Like, it's lit in a fake way. Like, this hallway is blue, and then this door is red, and then the next hallway is blue, and then it's red, and then the next hallway is purple. You're like, where is this coming from? Like,
yeah. It's a very disorienting. Like,
yeah.
If you look at it from the character's perspective, because it's like supposed to be lit up and it's this weird, almost like hazard caution lighting. And it just, the vibes, like the shots down the hallways, those are such a staple in these. You'll see those like long tunnel vision type shots. I've grown to like those now. It's like,
you're waiting for them.
I'm looking for them. One thing I thought was cool, it was trippy how, what was her name? The rich lady and Mark were talking to each other through the little holes in the.
So neat.
Jesus, it's like you can hear this everywhere in the apartment when you talk into this one spot, and it's like, that is so insane. Like, because he's like
a creepy idea.
Yeah, he's like, your voice was coming from everywhere. You know,
it's like, oh, the pipes are blah, blah, blah. See, again, dream logic. It's like, I heard a voice. Where did you hear it from?
Yep.
How can there be a voice? It was everywhere. Like, so you wake up, honey, I had this dream. Oh, there's this woman calling me. Where was the voice coming from? I don't know. It was everywhere. Well, it's like, well, if you speak into this thing, it echoes. It's like, where's her husband? Is he going to come back? Presumed dead. The husband's not coming back. I presume he's just not coming back. He's coming back to an Inferno because that place is burnt down.
Yeah.
Is Mother Tenebrum or whatever, is she gonna go set up another building? Like, I gotta go somewhere else now? Like,
yeah, and how would that work? Because she's obviously been there for a long time. So it's like, and then the architect is dead. So does she have to find a new architect? I mean, does she have to go to a union hall to do that, to find labor? How does she pull permits and get contracts? I mean,
very difficult.
Does she go through the city or around the city?
Right.
I don't know.
See, again, your mind wants to apply logic.
I do. It's like, I think about this shit. It's like,
yeah, okay, how is that going to work?
Where is she, how is she going to relocate? How do her powers, like, how does the power set work? Obviously, she has a big scope of influence because she was in the building and she's controlling the hot dog vendor, the rats,
Sure,
all simultaneously. So and then the wind was a big factor. And I don't know how we haven't even talked about this yet, but when Mark was in class in the very beginning and he's opening the letter from his sister, and one of the witches, I presume, was sitting there with a fucking cat in the middle of class.
Right. She's in tons of these movies too, that actress. I've seen her 100 times. Yeah,
I know.
She's in all of them.
I was like, I just got lost in her eyes. Damn.
There's a lot of good-looking ladies in this movie. Even the first one.
Yeah, like I'm outside of like the maids, like the younger female cast, like all of them were attractive. Like,
yeah, for sure.
They were all attractive women. Like the one chick, Alice, I think, that took the knife to the back. Like I think she was like she was like my favorite. I was like, please don't kill her. Kill her. Damn it, she's dead.
Yeah, never beg for someone to survive one of these movies. It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. It's I should know better. I feel like Richard Marx. I should have known better.
Yeah, I always feel, I know they're all. I just assume everyone's gonna die. Then if anyone lives, it's a surprise.
Yeah, look, we don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Yeah, we have happy. Yeah, like, and then okay. So here's a big question: why is the witch even she's not doing anything. Like,
what is her goal?
Like, right? There's no goal.
She's
just evil.
There's like, you would think this ancient evil would have some sort of grand design. There's 3 of them. They occupy 3 large spaces. They have a lot of influence. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing? Like, there's no, like, I was waiting for some like MacGuffin in this. Like, I thought the books, I'm like, is the book the MacGuffin? But there's
not really.
No,
because it doesn't even matter. And there's that guy in the basement with the long finger. Like,
I guess he's supposed to be an alchemist. Like,
yeah, he's like a familiar or something. I don't like. He's just there, like doing stuff.
He like grabbed. He was dragging around. He was dragging around Mark at one point because the chick saw him through the window. Remember, she was looking down.
Yeah.
He was dragging, but he was just gone. And then he chased the sister out of there. He killed a couple people because he did the window. He had the window death. Yep. And I'm assuming it was him that stabbed Marco and then killed Alice.
I guess so. Like, who else is there? But there is someone that doesn't have those claw nails, because there are the black, like the knife, the black gloves, like the stuff it's weird because it's in it, but it's been altered. The use of it has been altered.
It doesn't fit the normal rules.
Right. It's not the rules. These movies, this offshoot, it happened. Well, it happens with, I'm a metal music guy, so you could see the proto metal, and then it's like there's progressive metal, and then you get to like thrash, and you get to like grunge, and you get to, it's like all of a sudden, power metal. Now all of a sudden you got, I like stoner metal a lot, actually. So it's like all of a sudden now it's like, wait, what the hell's going on? And then everyone's fighting over what's the best thing. But like the gels, now we're separated. So this, it's kind of, because people, like the group I'm in, is like, well, you should show your buddy Suspiria and Deep Red. Those are the 2 big ones that come up. And I was like, well, those are popular. I said, I happen to like Tenebrae a bit better. And most people are like, yeah, Tenebrae is, that would be like the 3rd best out of these 2. And then Bird would be like the 4th best or whatever. But I like Tenebrae, and I knew John Saxon was in it. So I thought, you have an instant connection.
Yep.
That's the best thing to do. And then after that we went, but now they're completely weird. So like, it's like, what do you make of them? I remember when I first saw Suspiria, I was like, wow, this is so awesome, but I can't explain it to anybody. It's like, what was so good about it? It's like, well, hello Unicron. It's like, hey Keely. It's like, how do we explain what these are to somebody, right? Like, it's not like Friday the 13th say, oh, it's like a slasher and whatever, right? It's like, well, it's like a dream. Oh, you mean there's no story? You're making it sound like a negative. It's almost like if the story was there, it might take away from the weirdness of it. And then you just be like, that was an okay movie, as opposed to, oh, this was really weird. I don't really think I got it. And it's like, it's not even like watch it again. It's more like wait 5 years and then watch it again. Right? Like, because if you watch it again, you're going to be like, yeah, okay, I remember all this. I remember all this. You got to let it sit, like this 20-year gap that I just did, because it was when the DVD came out. That's how long it's been. So I watched it. All I remembered was the Inferno at the end and the water, and because that water, like, it's became Aquaman. Like, they're in the water. They're like, well, exploring this underwater world. Like, what movie is this? Like, this isn't Tenebrae. This guy, and is that the killer? I bet you it's him. You know, like that kind of thing.
It was like that whole opening sequence like threw me off. It did. It was, but I don't mind. Having watched the movie now, I don't mind the fact that there's not really a concrete like first, second, third act with cohesive structure throughout. I don't mind it because, like you said, if you look at it as it's a dream and that's the way you're analyzing it, it makes more sense that way. Because if I explain this, like, I'm going to be talking about this at wrestling camp tomorrow night, because that's what I do. I go to wrestling camp. I go through drills. If I'm not working a practice match, I sit there for 2 hours and we talk movies, because, like I said, Jared is a huge schlock and he loves the giallo movies. So it's like, and his girlfriend Kasey too. So we'll sit there and we'll just talk about movies, and I'm going to be explaining this. And one of the kids, and I call them kids because they're in their 20s or late 19-year-olds, is going to be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I would be like, "Sounds like I'm explaining like a disjointed dream, doesn't it?" No, this is a movie I watched yesterday. And it's like, how do you really effectively convey what the movie is without having somebody actually sit down and watch it? Even if you watch a trailer for this, you're not going to grasp the movie. You can watch it. Yeah, you can watch a trailer for this and be like, okay, I know what it is. Then you watch it and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Right.
Like, it's not going to, it doesn't really work in the traditional sense that way. I mean, at least I said, having seen the movie, I haven't watched a trailer for it though. So
I don't remember the trailer. I don't remember watching the trailer. A lot of this stuff I would just buy on my own based on what I thought. Oh, this looks good. I just watch anything, right? Like, horror movies was my most, even though people know me as like superhero guy, but it's not really true. I actually love everything I watch. I have tons of silent movies. I have 200 or 300 black and white movies. I love James Cagney. He's my favorite actor. Okay. I watch period drama. Downton Abbey is one of my favorite shows of all time. I just finished Wolf Hall season 2, which is about Thomas Cromwell and Henry VIII. It's an absolute masterpiece. Anyways, I love everything that's like good. I like everything. It's like, it really is stupid. I've bought, like, I'm going to, I'm buying Downton Abbey season 4 and Inferno, and, Terrifier 2 and like Roaring 20s. It's like, oh, is this gifts? No, this is all mine. It's like, you like all of these movies? It's like, yes, they're all 10 out of 10. So, well, Inferno's not 10 out of 10, but switch that with Tenebrae, and that would be 10 out of 10. But like, so I like a lot of stuff. So I'm totally open to anything. If anyone says, check this out, I will watch. And I love the all the Miami and all that stuff. So I appreciate, oh, hey, RR, thanks, brother. Inferno, I love the part. Okay, so RR is one of my buddies who comes on, and he's saying, I love the part where the Cybermen charged Helm's Deep, trapping Princess Leia in the tower until Captain America bellowed Shazam and drop kicked Brainiac into the acid. Oh wait, never mind. So he always confuses and mixes up all different things when he's not exactly sure what movie this is. Thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate that.
That sounds like some of the comment sections on trailers, like for a bad movie. That's what that sounds like. I was like, that's fucking creative. I like it.
How would you do the trailer? It's like, in New York, there's one building that no one goes into, right? And it's like, it's like, it is built over an inferno. Like, I don't even know, like, that you can't even do a teaser. Like, what is the teaser? You know what the teaser for Suspiria is? It's just a head turning at the back of a woman's head turning, and it's like, it says the only thing scarier than the first 90 minutes of this movie is the last 10. And then as it turns, it's like a skull face. It's like, oh, it's like Suspiria. That's it.
Oh,
and I'm
shit.
like, that's a great trailer because Suspiria is Suspiria is Inferno on steroids. It's like, it's even more weird. There's like literally they open. This is not a big spoiler, but they open the door and the guy, I think it was a girl, falls into a pit of wrapped barbed wire. And there's literally a pit of ringed barbed wire for no reason at all whatsoever. Like she's just running away from one of the witches. It's the first witch, so Suspiria. It says it in this one. She's and then falls in. You're like, what is this? Like, why is this pit? It's just because it's scary. Like this dream logic of these movies, the creativity is in how weird it is. What about cutting your hand? Okay, so they sat there. If you actually go through this movie, it's kind of a masterpiece in a weird way. They've got door handles, and when you saw the door handles, they glow because they're like that shiny glass, and you think, oh, that's a cool effect. But then when one breaks and snaps, that becomes a sharp thing, and she slices her hand. And you're like, so someone thought of that to say, hey, why doesn't she slice her hand on a doorknob? It's like, how would that work? It's like, well, the doorknobs are like these oval glass.
They're like baubles
or something. Yeah. So it's like it breaks and you're like, oh, okay. Again, the hole in the wall that you mentioned earlier, where it's like it echoes your voice throughout the entire apartment. That's weird. The drapes falling like that. The guy he goes through a room. The architecture is messed up too.
It's very weird.
It
reminds me of the Hotel Cortez from American Horror Story.
I haven't seen any. I have the first 2 seasons. I've not seen any of it.
I know. You could stop after the first 2 seasons of American Horror Story and not watch anything else, and you would be satisfied because that is
the Asylum is part 2, right?
Murder House and Asylum.
Murder House and Asylum, yeah.
Murder House. Oh my God. Like the first 2 seasons, I get goosebumps, man. Them were good. Those were really
got those on Blu-ray.
Yeah. I quit like years ago with that.
Okay.
It was the one with Macaulay Culkin where they were on the boardwalk, I think in New Jersey. And he was like a vampire. It was like there were vampires. I gave up like 4 episodes into that season. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. It's just, I watched it from its debut through then. And the Roanoke season almost killed me. Like that one, I was angry. I was visibly angry at that season, like physically violent and angry. It was so stupid at points. My wife's like, calm down. I'm like, no, this is ridiculous. Why?
I know my buddy said the first 2 were killer good. He really liked the Asylum. I like Asylums too. Like, what was that movie? Oh, that was just again. It was another dream. Actually, we can talk. It was a dreamlike movie. What the hell? Session 16 or something? Or
I've never seen that. I don't.
I'll Google it while we're talking. But yeah, the dream logic. It's hard to do a dream movie because what do you come up with? Like, my mind works in a logical sense. I write things down. My space system is point-based. I'm a math guy, where I took all the advanced math courses and science courses. I like that kind of stuff. So that's why I like Tenebrae. You follow the plot, intricacies, twists and stuff. These dream movies, as an artist, I also took art classes too. So I actually like art and science, which is weird. Hey, Classic Comics, thanks for coming on. Watched first season. Well, apparently, Pete's saying it, and Steve, Steve is saying he's saying season 2 is awesome.
I loved Asylum. I did. Yeah, I thought it was freaking great.
Session 9.
Session 9. Okay, no, I never heard of that.
Session 9. Weird movie. Google it when you look at the poster, you'll know if it's for you or not. Anyways. But yeah, like, what do you come up with? Like, I can't sit there and think, what am I going to come up with to show that this is a dream? Well, you have to have weird images. But like, even like she's walking around barefoot, and because she's walking around barefoot, she happens to touch some of the blood. And then she looks at it and she's like, no, I don't think it's blood. It's just paint or something. And then it's like, why would there be paint though?
There's no painting going on. There's no construction. And we're talking about because Mark said the same thing. He's like, oh, it was just paint. I think he said at one point.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, common sense. Look around. There's no drop cloths. There's no tape. There's no workers. There's nothing. No ladders. No paint buckets. No paint trays. No brushes. Nothing. No easels. You know, it's not like fucking, Da Vinci's out there fucking painting the Mona Lisa or what. I don't know.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
I know nothing about art.
So. Well, you're right. Da Vinci did.
Was it Da Vinci? Okay. I was like, I know. That's the only one I know.
I used to know all the columns, ionic columns, Doric columns. I can tell the difference between the columns on architecture. Those two I remember. I don't know. It was whatever. I like art and science, so I don't mind. But I find it difficult to do things in movies. Like I've written a Giallo story. I've written a few stories and stuff like that. And I made a Giallo movie in university.
Okay.
And one of my friends, one of my friends picked up on it. He's like, "Hey," he goes, "that's like a Dario Argento movie." I was like, "Holy shit!" My name's Jason. His name was Jason as well. Coincidentally, I was like, "You are right." And I had the mask killer. It was a mystery. There was a twist. He had the gloved killer. Saw the hand. It was lots of POV shots. I'll tell you about it sometime. It's actually a really neat. Hey, FK, how's it going? It was a really neat movie, and I showed it in class, and it had like a bad ending. And everyone's like, "Oh my god!" They're like, "Oh, for the second year, are you going to do a sequel to it?" I was like, "No, that is the ending." And they're like, "But the killer. Wait a minute, the killer's loose, and the protagonist is dead." I'm like, "Yep, that's the ending."
Yep.
And the teacher was a large female with green hair. Right. So I don't need to go on. Nope. So the marks weren't that high. The marks were not that high, but the class rated it, and they're like, "This is easily the best thing that anyone did." I'm like, firstly, I know it is because I also watched all your guys' movies, and your guys' movies were awful. But the teacher did not. She said it was like cheesy B horror. I'm like, well, yeah, because my budget was nothing. I'm a university student. I have zero money. Like I used music from the Joan of Arc movie and The Craft. I used the score of The Craft for and then I think I threw in an Iron Maiden track or something, right? And it's like, yeah, I have no money, right? Anyway, I
don't have an 8-figure budget to shoot this student film on.
Yeah, I have zero money. The idea was awesome. I played the protagonist. Like and my friends all acted in it.
Nice.
But anyways, I should put that up on YouTube. It might get something.
Why not?
Yeah,
Why not, dude?
We've done tons of movies as we did like action. I was in martial arts for a while, so it's like we were like, oh, I could do like pretty good kicks and stuff. So we tried to do like these cheap, and Van Damme's my hero. So
Time Cop.
I love Time Cop.
It's Tony Khan's favorite movie. I got a clip of Jeff from World Class Bullshitters yelling at him. He was at the AEW show. He's like, "Time Cop, Tony, Time Cop!" Screaming it at him.
I love Time Cop. It's great. Don't buy the 4K. Here's a PSA. Don't buy the 4K at Time Cop because it's only the movie and no other features at all. So it's a super ripoff. It's like $50, but it's just the movie. It's like it's not worth it.
That stinks.
But yeah, what was so as I'm watching this movie, well, firstly, as always, whenever it's a movie that I picked for someone to watch who doesn't know anything about the movie, and I just said, "Hey, why don't we watch this one?" I'm always thinking, okay, what's Pete gonna think? And then you're like, "Oh, my wife's watching." I'm like, "God, they're gonna be like, what's J-Man up to on this one?" And I'm watching it, and I thought, well, I know I enjoyed it. My memories of it from before came back. It's one of those movies where while I was watching, I thought this is really neat. And when it was over, I thought that was really neat, but I don't know. I'm missing something or I didn't get it. And then I thought, let me think about it some more. And then as a dream, it kind of fades away from memory and I only remember the big parts. Like I remember the water part with the dead body floating around underneath, because I remember my mind, I couldn't understand where is this? Like they go underneath, like I've always lived in buildings. Oh no, that's a lie. I lived in a house for a while with my mom, but mostly I've lived in buildings. And I'm like, okay, if I go down, and my grandfather used to be the superintendent, so I could go anywhere. If I go down and I go through that gate, it's just like sewering and pipes, like there's nothing there. So there's like this whole underwater world. But then later he goes a different route and finds the hidden base of the mother, and then it just gets like annihilated with fire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I like when the architecture is wrong. Like it's like, this shouldn't be like, what is the foundation of this? Like, how is this building on this thing?
And
yeah,
so it's brick and there's wood in the building. So you've got all this water down there immediately, having had basement floods before. I'm like, there is mold, just rampant mold.
Oh my God.
All the way through this building. If you have that much standing water, and that shit is stagnant water, it's gotta be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, where? But then the door opens and then the body came through, and it's like, but everything underneath there looks pristine.
Yeah.
Everything was pristine under there. And I'm like, is this somehow like the magic keeping it like this?
That's what I'm thinking. You're making it make sense in your mind. She went outside through that gate down.
Yep.
He went through the floorboards.
Yes.
And uncovered that thing through there. And remember, there was ants and bugs everywhere. Mm-hmm. If you look closely enough, they're like, oh shit, there's a whole bunch of them. They're all coming, they're all around. Again, rats, bugs, cats, all this kind of stuff. It's all part of this dream witchcraft stuff. It's like they're just existing. It's almost like the mothers are just living there. Like in Suspiria, they run a dance academy. Why? Like, right. what is now? I don't know if there's a remake of Suspiria. I'm not sure if you're aware of the remake. They did a remake with Tilda Swinton and who's the girl from 50 Shades of Madam?
Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson. It's a remake of Suspiria. So right off the bat, I was like, F this movie and they can all die. However, I still bought it because I don't know. I want to be punished, but actually, it's actually very good and very weird. However, they tried to make sense of things, but this is how I know it wouldn't work for Inferno. In their attempt to make sense of Suspiria, why are the witches running a dance academy? Well, to do spells, they have to do dance moves to create spells. Okay.
That makes sense.
I see what you're doing. Okay. But in your attempt to do this, you've actually raised other questions that seem weird, because it's like, okay, but what if you can't dance well? Like, I don't understand. Like, you're just waving your arm. So it's, again, more weirdness is introduced. It's almost better. So it's definitely not as good as the original. It doesn't have the music. It doesn't have that. Suspiria has the fire music. That's like considered the best soundtrack. It's Goblin. It's like Tenebrae soundtrack.
Tenebrae's soundtrack is freaking amazing. Like, I will just put that on my phone and Bluetooth it to my Victrola in the dining room and just let that play, because it's freaking amazing. It's
good. But you start trying to introduce stuff and explain stuff, you're getting down the Rob Zombie Halloween remake. You're explaining stuff that ought not to be explained.
Yep.
And in the process, you've dumbed it down, because in the case of I can use the Rob Zombie case because you've seen that. In that case, he's just from a shitty family. It's like, okay, but the scary part of Halloween is the fact that he's part of a normal family. The parents seem very like they're not great parents, they're not bad parents. They're normal parents. Guy down the street, Timmy's dad. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. And this kid is just dead in his eyes, in his mannerisms. He has no soul to him. There's nothing there. They look into his eyes. There's nothing. It's just a pit of blackness.
Yep.
That's the scary thing. This kid just went and killed the sister. Yeah, she was fooling around, but really, is she doing anything bad? Like, not really, right?
Teenager doing.
She's teenager, not doing. It's nothing to deserve to get killed or anything, right? So it's like she's not a drug dealer or something, right? It's like she's just a normal person. She's just a normal girl. That's the point. then the attempt of explaining that just raises more questions where it's like, okay, well, if the kid does this, then why, if his family's garbage, why is he attached to his mom? His mom is part of the problem. But, oh, she's the only good one. It's like, well, she's not that good, because if she was good, she'd stand up to the other family and see what's going on. And so, see, you're not explaining anything. You're just raising more questions that are different questions.
Pulling threads, just
pulling
threads.
Yeah.
And you're grasping at really things that don't, like you said, it's just, the ambiguity is vastly superior in situations like that, where, like you said, you pull a thread, then another one, and you forgot what you're initially looking for in the first fucking place.
Right. That's why Friday's perfect. My son was killed. I don't want them to reopen this camp. Anyone who attempts to reopen this camp is going to get killed because it's a disgrace to my son's memory. That's it. That's a simple plot. It's a whodunit, but there's no mystery component because we never see the killer, so we never really know who it is. Could have been anybody, and that ain't Betsy Palmer's hands, right?
Yeah,
that's for
Betsy
sure.
Palmer was yeeting grown men through windows.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, she could barely beat Alice Hardy in a fucking fight.
Yeah, exactly.
And Alice decapitated her.
Yes, that was very mean of her. What did she ever do except for kill everybody? But yeah, so that's why I was saying, like with Inferno, if you start trying to insert things like, oh, maybe the witches are luring rich people to this building, stealing their assets and their money and killing them, which is could be considered a subplot, perhaps, if she's in on it with that. Now, she was with that maid. So the woman carting the guy around, that's the mother. She was with, it looked like they were together, but then she killed her. So it's like, what the shit? Like,
it didn't make any sense.
Don't team up with these witches. They're gonna backstab you the very first second that they get you.
Yeah. It's like the vampires in Blade with the familiars, you know, they're useful idiots.
Right.
That's basically what they are. They're just useful idiots.
Yeah.
And that was like what I gathered. It's like anybody in the building that wasn't one of them was just a useful idiot. Like the guy, the alchemist with the like vampire hands or whatever.
Yeah,
like
Nosferatu.
Yeah, Nosferatu down there. He's just one of their minions, basically. You know, what anybody, any of the like you said, they can control anybody, obviously, because they took the guy in the food truck and he chopped off you know, Kazazian.
I think what was his name?
You know, played ICP neck cutter and just chopped him. So
that was awesome. Yeah, what is that character's name? Kazanian.
Kazanian. Okay.
His real name is Sasha Pitov or something. Pitov.
Yeah, that was just an interesting little subplot with that guy. Yeah, I thought the books were going to be, like I said, I thought the books were going to be a MacGuffin. They turned out really to serve no purpose other than to kind of, there was a small exposition, obviously, from them. But other than that, they really served no purpose in the story. So it was kind of...
like Dario Argento himself says, this is like there's an intro in this where you can watch, and he's like, this is a very personal movie for me. He's like, I just wanted to, you know, put you into this little nightmare world and see what happens, and that's it. And it's an experimental art movies, just like Suspiria, which is even Suspiria does have one thing that this doesn't, and that is it does have Jessica Harper's the actress. She is the main character throughout the whole entire movie, and you follow her the whole way. So there is one central character. She doesn't die, doesn't die in the first 99 minutes, let's say, just to not be a spoiler. You don't know if she's going to survive the whole movie, but you follow her throughout the whole thing. So there is one character, but there is weird things. There's always someone. So now, there starts to be rules that are separate rules. So there's the Giallo rules that are loosely ported over, but then there's new rules. There's always someone with some sort of disability. There's like a blind guy in Suspiria, and there's a guy in the wheelchair, and then there's always an animal. Suspiria, I think, has dogs. This one had the cats, and there's always a window. For some reason, the broken glass window thing
that was very prevalent in this.
Yeah, it seems to be. He's got something he likes that. There's one where her entire face is like glass windowed. I used to have a picture of that in my locker.
Nice.
My locker was awesome. It was like, and all of my notebooks, it's like Elvira and all. It was basically like your background, all these things. I had them all over my stuff, so it was great. But my entire locker was lined with weird. All my pencils had. I only used pencil, and I shoved nails like pinhead through all my. But I shoved them all the way through, so they were actually sharp. Try to grab them, they would actually stab you. And just as a random side story, but when our lockers were broken into over the weekend, and I would, and when you open up my locker, all of the pencils were dangling, like Hellraiser,
Yeah,
they're all dangling. And when they broke into our lockers, nothing was taken from my locker. My friends all got their stuff taken. Nothing. They probably opened up. They're like, I think we're good.
Yep. It was one of those. It's like one of those things in the movie. They open the door. They're like, nope, and just shut it.
Remember in Batman '89, where so that art. Remember Joker? He's destroying the paintings, and then they're going to hit the one, and it's all weird. And he's like, I kind of like this one. Leave it.
Yep.
It was like that. But I had that like the big. It's like, and then there's one where she's like. She gets hung in you'll have to watch the spirit. She gets hung in this weird way, and you're like, that was weird. So I had all these weird things, but like, yeah, again, more dream logic. You know what? I have never seen Mother of Tears, and I own it. And it's a bit of a fail for me that I haven't watched it. And what happened is that I was scared to watch it because I do really like Inferno. It's not going to get it's going to get a decent score. Suspiria is awesome. Suspiria is the best of these weird ones, just because the music is on point, and the visuals are hyper crazy. Plus, they did this thing where all of the sets are super big, okay. So like they're supposed to look like dolls in a dollhouse. It's supposed to be like the mother is controlling them in this dollhouse and playing with the girls as though they're toys. Everything's big, like the door handles are like kind of like in the middle of things. Like it's just you won't even really notice it when you first watch. And you'll notice it now that I'm telling you, but you might not have noticed it on your because I never noticed anything. I just watched it. This is a cool movie, but like when you look into it more, like oh yeah, there's a lot of weird things. So that's the king of the weird ones. That's how everyone says Suspiria. Everyone says Deep Red and Suspiria. That's like their two. You want your normal giallo, Deep Red. You want your weird one, go with Suspiria, and that's your two kind of kings. But I really liked Inferno as well, even though, it's kind of weird and it's a bit slower paced. And then I was like, Mother of Tears, because it came out way later. When did Mother of Tears come out? It's like way later. So what was Inferno? 80?
Suspiria was 77.
Yeah, my birth year. Where is Mother of Tears? Mother of Tears is 2007.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And Argento did that one?
He did.
Okay.
So it's just, and his latest one, the latest Argento movie was Dark Glasses from 2022. So he's still going.
How old is he?
Oh, let's see. Asia Argento's his daughter, and she started to direct movies as well.
He's 84.
84. Okay, there you go.
He's 7 years older than my dad. All right.
He's still going.
Still going. Goddamn, good for him.
Yeah, keep it. Did you ever see? He helped make Dawn of the Dead, which is considered to be the best of the Dead movies, and it's got Goblin soundtrack. So Dawn of the Dead is like the second Romero one. There's an Italian. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yes, the guys who did the music for that did the music. Well, one of them did it for It's like a bunch of guys. Goblin. Yep. They did Suspiria soundtrack as well.
Yeah, it says music by the Goblins with Dario Argento.
There you go.
Yep. And
so you have that. Well, that's VHS. So I love Night of the Living Dead. Yeah.
I don't have day. I have night. I have dawn. I don't have day on VHS.
Have you seen Day of the Dead?
Yeah, I've seen them all. Oh yeah. These were early movies my mom and I watched, along with like the Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff like that. And like I said, she had me watching. I watched the first Hellraiser as soon as it hit like pay-per-view when I was a kid, because we had the the hacker box for a satellite.
Yeah,
So we got all that shit for free, and that's how like my mom would record everything. Like I still have like I've got a couple hundred VHS tapes here. There is at least another 1,000 or 2 at my dad's house.
Wow, that's more than I had about 500,
dating back to like 1987, and like a lot of them they still like I'm popping movies in from like 86, 87, and they still work. One of the tapes I found has Friday the 13th, 5, 6, and Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 on it. I'm like, that was one of my favorite VHSs.
That's a great tape.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. That's a gold standard tape right there.
Yeah. But no, I never, like I said, before we watched Tenebrae, I had never seen any of these Argento movies before. I heard of them. I just never watched them. It's like, it was an intimidating and daunting like task to like not know where to start with them basically. And that's why I'm glad you were like, hey, we should check this out. And I'm like, like I said, we watched Tenebrae first. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, yep, this movie's amazing. I'm like, I loved it, man, right from the word go. And like I said, Bird was good. The other
Blood and Black Lace.
Blood and Black Lace was
the other one.
That was good. That was good. It was from 1964. I think that was 64 in that range. 64 to 68. In that
yeah, I don't remember the exact.
I can't. It was one of those two, but it was good. I really liked it. I've enjoyed these. I really have. It's so abstract. 64. Okay.
Yeah.
But the abstract nature, like you said, the dream, like, is it a dream? Is it real? You know, I like that. I do. And it speaks to the chances that he was willing to take with his movies, which you see now, these studios aren't willing to take chances like that. They won't take a risk for, oh, we're going to lose money. And then they do something they think is going to be a layup and it loses money because they're pandering to the wrong demographic that's not going to spend money. And it's like, there's, you know, you make something good and people are going to open their wallets. Like it's, you have to know, you know, it speaks to the talent level of the creatives that are allowed to, and the producers more so, that pick which projects get, the green light. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what we run into a lot of problems with in modern movies is, like I said, they're not willing to take chances. And that's how we get these boilerplate safe movies that are just like, you'll watch it once and you'll forget it. Like,
yeah, they're taking inspiration from from people that can't do anything. The next, it's going to get worse. And it's like, oh, you just don't like old, you just like new, you just like old movies. Okay. But when I was watching movies in the 80s, I still watched silent films. And I watched foreign movies. I watched tons of Bollywood movies. I've seen Bollywood movies in the theater. Before I'd met my wife, who was Indian, we happened to meet, and she's Indian. And I was like, oh yeah, I said, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I'm going to see this this weekend. She's like, that's an Indian movie. I was like, yeah, I'm aware. And she's like, oh my God. And so I actually had known about these movies before I'd met her. It's like, oh, I watch everything. I watch Italian. We're talking about Italian horror movies from a time period where we're like 4 years old or whatever, 5 years old. Like we're like little kids. And I was like, yeah, because I like watching these. I'll watch anything that's kind of neat. Mm-hmm. So the people now, though, they're so scared. It's like, if you go back to George Lucas or anybody, Lucas, takes from what he liked and then makes something new. And then you take from what you like and make something new. Everything goes back to like, Edgar Rice Burroughs doing Tarzan or doing John Carter is Edgar Rice Burroughs. Everything's from John Carter. Harry Potter has like 15 things from John Carter. Like the wizard chess, like that's literally from John Carter. So and J.K. Rowling is not hiding that. She's telling you like, oh yeah, I read Burroughs. Yeah, I know you read it because I see what you did there. And same with Lucas. It's like, oh, he took it from Ricky Saint is all elite. Yeah, so they're taken from stuff, but now there's nothing to take from, because they're
Yeah.
not taking chances on stuff. Like Star Wars, it's like it wasn't setting up something. It wasn't an IP. It was like, oh, I got this cool idea. I can't make Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers. I can't get the rights. So I'm going to just take some stuff from that, take some from Kurosawa, who I loved growing up, mix them all in together, make this brand new thing. And now that thing is the gold standard. And then what's the next gold standard? Like if you remove Star Wars, if George Lucas if you terminated him like Terminator, you go back, kill Lucas, you're going to lose everything. And we're at a point now, like, let's say like Jurassic Park is a good example, where when Jurassic Park came out, I mean, dinosaurs, we've seen dinosaurs in movies, but they were usually stop motion or, maybe like a guy in a suit, or they would just show a head or something, right? When Jurassic Park came out, you're like, wow, that's a big step. You're like, holy shit. But the story was really good. They copied the book as close as they could. They made a few alterations. Still exciting, got some good violence in there. It's pretty tense. There's some good tension in there. I just watched on 4K a couple of months ago. I was like, this is really good. Now you're thinking, oh yeah, well, Jurassic Park 4 or 5 or whatever should be even better, because no, but at one point, let's say it looks a little bit better. Let's say this is Jurassic Park. Let's say it looks a bit better. The new ones look a little bit better. Yeah, but the story sucks and the characters suck. So I'll take the one that looks pretty goddamn good even now versus the one that, sure, it looks better. Yeah, but I don't like anybody in this movie and all the characters are shitty. So what the hell happened? Like, actually, what happened? Like, how can the Jurassic Park movie, the first one, be like clearly the best, like, period? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it's like, and you could say, well, I call it like part 2 or 3. I don't care if you kind of like stuff. This is the Star Wars argument. Well, I thought Andor was pretty good. Who cares? It's not Star Wars used to not be, it was pretty good. Star Wars used to be, dude, Empire Strikes Back is coming out.
Yep.
I got taken out of school. They're like, Jedi. Jay, take him. Let's go right after school. I didn't get taken out of school, but my friend did. He went to the first show. His mom came and picked him up from school early, saying, he's not feeling well. We're going to see Star Wars. Right now, it's like Star Wars is on, and you're like, oh, I guess I got to review this, don't I? Because you're going to, fuck, all right. Well, what time is it? Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I'll watch one, right? And then you're watching it like this on your computer. You're not setting up your 4K. I'm not putting up the 5.1 for that. You're watching it like this with your fucking phone. Oh, yeah, that's woke. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's trash. Yeah. Oh, Luke Skywalker's an idiot now. Oh, perfect. Okay, he's an idiot now. He wasn't before, but he is now. Oh, look, Han Solo's dead because he's a dumbass and stood there on that ledge. And then you're like, okay, hi guys, J-Man here. I'm giving this a fucking 0 out of 5. It's trash. Then comments, you just don't like Star Wars. It's like, okay, sure, I don't like it. Thanks. I've changed my mind now that you've told me I suck. Yes. This is what we do now. And then in the hopes of getting, a viral video, and then just so we can get like the big thumbs up, and it's like, it's not Star Wars. It's not anything. We're not, and my review system doesn't mean jack shit, nothing. I give Andor a 1 out of 5. Who cares? It's shit. Like Star Wars, we walked out of Return of the Jedi as kids. We're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Not this was a cool movie. We're like, I can't believe it. Like, what did I just watch? Like, I can't even believe this is a thing that exists in the world right now. It was pretty good. I thought some parts were neat. There was a cool lightsaber battle. Oh, remember when there wasn't cool lightsaber battles in all the movies? It's like, they all have cool lightsaber battles. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
It has good effects. Which one doesn't have good effects? Like, what are you saying doesn't have good effects to say that, like, if you watch Jurassic Park, you could say that has great dinosaur effects. Whereas prior to that, yes, the effects weren't that good for dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But the story is good, right? And the characters are good. Like, we don't do anything. I've reverted completely back to like going back to the old comics. I'm doing my old movies. We're doing old movies here. It's like, I mean, Megan 2 looks good. I'm definitely seeing that 100%. That looks like a schlock fest. I cannot wait. I can't believe they built another machine.
Yeah.
They built a worse version of her, and then she's got to become a good guy to fight it.
It's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I love it. I can't. It's so schlocky. I'm absolutely dying over how schlocky it is. But that's a schlock movie, and they know it.
The first one, and I knew what it was going in, and I'm like, this is fun.
But look, it's not a remake, and oh, it's just like any of these other doll movies. Poor dolls and poor animatronics. This is from the dawn of time, guys. You can't, that's not something that's popular. It's how they spin it. In Megan, they spin it by making a connection to that girl who lost her family. Where she's connected to it so much that she's losing the sense of reality and believing in this robot, and the robot's programmed badly and it's going to go run amok as it always does. But that story was an interesting angle to approach it in a little bit of a different way. It's not really the same in Child's Play. Child's Play, the doll needs something from Andy. It's manipulating him to get something from him. Whereas Megan does form a connection with the girl. And when that's broken and Megan senses that, oh, my time's up, then she goes Hell 9000 and goes crazy. Anyway. All right. Well, any other points?
Was there anything else we need to hit here?
I mean, we probably thought about this movie more than Dario Argento did.
I think so. Especially when we're trying to make sense of things in it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have any other points to make on it, really.
All right. So I'll let you go ahead and score it first.
Well, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, okay. With heavy emphasis on the positives being the artistic merits, the shot, cinematography, atmosphere, even the music, even though it didn't have it had some awesome music here and there in the beginning and the end. For the characters are not bad. They just exist to further the dreamlike ambience. There is no story. So by my rating system, it seems 7 out of 10. That's not great, but it is pretty. It is good based on my system, where like a 5 or a 6 is a pass. So it's definitely more of a pass, but only because the artistic value and like the tone and all that is really high. Whereas the characters are not low. I don't hate any. I wasn't like, oh fuck, I just. Mark. If Mark lived or died, it wasn't. It's not like Tommy Jarvis or Megan. Let's go with Tommy and Megan. I actually really liked Megan in part 6, and I didn't want her to die. So had she died, I would have been like, hey, this kind of sucked. I liked her. So it's not like that here. If Mark lived, cool. I like Mark's pretty good. If he died, well, fuck, that's what happens. Mark, you get killed. I don't know what to tell you. So story, there is no story. So what am I supposed to grade it? I don't know what to grade it. It's weird. So 3.5 out of 5. I guess, and that's being, and that's purely for artistic value.
Yeah. God, I'm looking at this, and I usually look at like you said, characters. They're there for purposes of story, and they did their jobs effectively. The acting was good. I mean, I really had no issues with any of the performances. The sets were fucking fantastic. Everything looked great. The cinematography is solid always. The kill scenes were up there. They were up there. They were good. They were gory. I mean, I'll give this one a solid 3 out of 5. I have no issues giving it a 3 out of 5, knowing that the entire thing is this trippy dream sequence, and the supernatural aspects there's really no rules set for them in the world in which they exist. So I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed the movie. It's weird. It was a little slow at the beginning, but once the snowball starts rolling downhill, it picks up speed.
Oh, then you start getting like people get off in weird ways that you don't expect.
No,
which is a positive kind of, right? Because you're in Jason, you're expecting, Jason's gonna do something really crazy. This one, you're like, all of a sudden, this butcher shop or this hot dog vendor kills the guy, or rats eating him. You're like, well, I didn't see that coming. I didn't think rats would be eating people in this movie. Like, what the fuck happened there?
Did not have that on my bingo card for the evening.
No.
Yeah, the two characters, like, Alice and Marco, like, hey, will you stay with me for a couple hours? Yeah. He walks around the corner after fixing the fuse with a knife through his neck. I mean, it's just totally random. He just delivers a line of dialogue, and 2 seconds later, he's like, ah, ah, ah. Yep. So, yeah, it was an enjoyable movie. It was definitely a trip that if I had some absinthe, I would watch this again. Or shrooms. Definitely, this would be a movie to watch.
It would have been like, whoa, it's like it would have been like a 3D effect or something. Like you're like, I'm in the building with them.
Watching a 4K of this on mushrooms would be just
that'd be good.
Boom. I wonder if any of my students are watching tonight. I hope not. Mr. Pete, mushrooms. Don't worry, kids. Only Mary Jane's flower. I wrote that down today. I had to go to the dentist. So, like, do you smoke? Yes. If so, what? Just Mary Jane's flower. That's literally what I wrote. And the lady at the desk, I gave it to her, and she's looking over. She's like, she kind of giggled. I was like, I haven't had a cigarette in 2 fucking years, but I like smoke me a bowl one day. I'll pack it up and I'll hit it once, and it'll sit, and then it'll be packed for like 3 days. That's all it takes me to smoke one now. But I like edibles. That's my weakness is my edibles. But they take the body aches away from wrestling, which is what I'm doing tomorrow. And I'm gonna shoot some footage out at camp tomorrow night, gang. I haven't shot any footage out there yet. I'm trying to do a skit. And it may or may not involve me getting hit with a steel chair, so you guys will enjoy it. I haven't taken a chair shot since I've been back, so I've kind of been itching to get it. Oh no headshot, straight to the back. If I take one to the head, I don't put my hands up. Just hit me in the fucking head.
All right.
Just rattle my. No, I'm just kidding. Both hands are going up. Especially, dude, if I get hit in this thing, come on, it's over with.
Oh my god,
it's over with. This has been broke twice. Like I don't need that. I don't need that. Both times it's just been like, set it. It's kind of crooked. It's a target, But no, man, Jay, man, thank you for joining me again, brother. Always a pleasure. Tell the folks where they can find you.
It's JMan77. Every Monday I do an Avengers live stream, so we're talking about Avengers comics, and every Friday we're doing Star Wars comics, and in between I do random stuff here and there with different movies, mostly fantasy, sci-fi related stuff, or old comic books. So I do my horror stuff here. So there you go.
He comes over here to get his horror fix. Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate you, man. And here is our Patreon at Wrestling with Horror right there. If you want to, we have a deep back catalog over there on patreon.com/Wrestling with Horror 420. And I haven't uploaded over there in a minute, gang, wrestling, and I've had a ton of stuff going on. We will get something new up there. We got some, we're going to do Iron Man match commentaries. We're going to do some of the best Iron Man matches in wrestling. And I have been itching to do one of my commentary and watch along for one of my favorites, which is Magnum TA versus Tully Blanchard from '86. The I Quit match. Ooh.
I'm pretty sure Tully, I saw it because I watched everything from, what was WrestleMania 2?
WrestleMania 2 is '86.
Yeah, so, okay, so maybe
No. Yeah. It was 86 because 3 was 87 at the Silverdome.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so everything from WrestleMania 2, probably some stuff before that and on till whatever happened. Zoe Stark got her knee fucked up. So I've seen everything up till now. I saw your thing on that too. It's so nasty. I can't.
Dude, it hurt. It hurt my soul. I love Zoe Stark. I do. I love the hell out of her. She's so athletic. She just never resonated with the crowd. She's one of the best athletes on the roster. This is her 4th knee injury, though.
I know.
That might be it. It was.
I can watch Terrifier 2 right now, but I can't do the knee. I can't do that. Like,
dude, that's like when Sid Vicious jumped off the top, did a double axe handle, and blow. Remember when his
it's gonna make me barf. I can't. It's so gross.
Yeah, check the video. I did a video on that today, ladies and gentlemen. So that's out there, and much more on the way. Not covering Saturday night's main event this weekend because I will be going to camp on Saturday night as well. I'm going to get in the ring a couple times this week to make up for missing last week when I was under the weather. So yeah, we're gonna watch Saturday night's main event out at Dragon's Den with the gang. This is what we do when we watch wrestling live. We have chairs set up. We got the 80-inch screen. We'll sit there and we'll have the event playing. But when they go to their little commercial breaks, there'll be like 10 of us in the ring just beating the shit out of each other. Like we're like a bunch of kids, you know. It's like we're watching the show. We go, all right, let's go. You know, we get back in the ring. It's a good time. So yeah, we'll be doing that. We'll be hanging out more. Might do a impromptu live stream before the end of the week if I have time. But if not, gang, thank you for being here again. We appreciate you all our channel members. Thank you for supporting us. I'm Pete from Wrestling with Horror with Jay, man. We don't see you. Have a great day. Pleasant tomorrow. We'll catch you on the next one. And remember, it's always better to burn out than fade away.